This is Mindy here with Magical Urban Fantasy Reads. Today I have Mindy McGinnis, author of the debut Not a Drop to Drink, here for a Q&A. Hi, Mindy.
First, I just want to say how exciting it is to talk to someone else named Mindy for a change. Never get to do that.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Can you give us a brief summary of your story to publication?
I've been writing for about 10 years when I wrote Not a Drop to Drink. Writing and failing fantastically at that. And when I wrote Not a Drop to Drink, it felt very new, it felt very fresh and different. And I was kind of thinking to myself, if this isn't the one that does it, then Lord knows what will be. So I queried and landed an agent, Adrian Ranta of Wolf Literary, fairly quickly. I think I only sent out about 8 queries for Drink, and Adrian offered representation, and I went with her. She was fantastic. And then we went out on submission. I was actually on submission for about 6 months with Drink. It wasn't a very quick process. That part kind of made me feel like maybe I was getting ready to fail again. And then I ended up getting picked up. Sarah Shumway at Catherine Teigen Books just fell in love with Not a Drop to Drink. I was so pleased. And they signed me. And it was completely surreal. When I got that email, I was so shocked that I went and I scooped the litter pan to kind of ground myself.
I'm super excited about your upcoming debut, Not a Drop to Drink. Will Not a Drop to Drink be a standalone or in a series?
The concept was originally as standalone. I know that at the time that I was querying it, everybody was saying the market was leaning back towards standalones and not so much with series. So I wrote it as a standalone, but the world that it takes place in is, there's a lot of scope there. So, we may be returning.
How long did it take you to write Not a Drop to Drink?
I wrote Not a Drop to Drink in about 6 months. It was fairly quick. It was about 4 to 6 months. I'm honestly not positive. It was fairly quick. It kind of fell out of me. That's really attractive. Yeah.
Is there anything that you can tell us about your book that we can't already find on Google or Goodreads?
Since I'm kind of a talkative person on the internet, I don't. It's kind of a hard question. I think one of the things would be that it takes place in Ohio. I'm not sure that that's actually on the flap or that I've said that anywhere else. I know that it's clear inside the book that it's in Ohio, but I live in Ohio, and I definitely drew from the area around me as far as when the setting came into play. And the entire book takes place in a very small area, and that area is one that I'm very familiar with. So that might be, I don't know, something you can use there.
What are some of your protagonist's character traits?
Well, she's a badass. She's a badass. That's number one. But the story is actually about her learning to not be so focused on being a badass, because she basically has been raised to kill people when they approach her water source. There's no question. You don't really take the chance that the person walking towards you is going to be nice. I mean, who cares? They want to drink, regardless if they're nice or not, so you shoot them. And that's how she was raised. She doesn't question that because she doesn't have any other exposure. So her first character trait is that she's a badass.
Can you tell us a little bit about the romance and or love interest?
Yeah, the romance is where things start to, she has to kind of unfocus on the badass aspect, because she does meet a boy that is her age. She's never met a boy before, period. And luckily, if the one she meets is attractive, that's a bonus. And she learns that other people aren't necessarily just a threat. You can also make connections with them. And the boy is from the city, and he doesn't have the first idea how to survive out here in the middle of nowhere, and she has to make a decision whether or not she's going to help him because he's going to die without her help. And of course, she decides she's going to assist him in remaining alive, and she's pretty glad that that's what she chose by the end, I think.
What was your favorite character to write and why?
My favorite character would probably be the neighbor that she ends up meeting. Neighbor in the sense that they can see each other through binoculars. His name is Stubbs. He's an older guy, like in his 50s, probably about, and he lives somewhat near her. She ends up meeting him through this, series of events. And he was actually the easiest character to write. He literally wrote himself. I didn't have anything to do with it. Whenever he showed up, he just did his thing, and I typed it down. That's pretty much, he was awesome.
Now let's get to know you. What is your writing ritual?
I use getting to know me. Okay. My writing ritual is I actually write laying down. I don't know why. It's just something that I do. I can't write sitting up. I can't write in a chair. I've never tried writing standing up. That might be something I should look into. But I write laying down in a bed and, at night, basically. That's kind of my thing, and take a shower and not smell bad anymore and lay down and write. And so I guess I have this thing where I associate writing with the smell of shampoo. And that kind of helps, I guess. I don't know. If I smell good, I can write. So, there are days when it's not going to happen.
Do you have a fear or phobia?
Velociraptors, yeah, I know. If that's what it is, I can't.
What's your guilty pleasure?
The movie Tremors. Yeah, I don't know, but that and Cadbury eggs, I think. Also Twix bars, they're good. And Kit Kats. Cheeseburgers, they're good. Sleeping. I'm really good at sleeping. I sleep like a champ.
Do you have any strange quirks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, more than it's just, I don't know how long this interview is supposed to be. There is this one thing, though, that I actually just remembered, not that, last week. This is kind of weird. I don't understand. It just popped up in my head. When I was a kid, let's say between the ages of 3 and 8, I had this thing where I liked to watch people eat salads. I don't know why. It's just this really screwed up thing, but it's that's what I did. I would watch people eat salads because I was fascinated by the idea that they were shoveling raw vegetables in their mouths. That to me was just amazing. And I would watch people eat vegetables because it blew my mind. Salads, yeah, I don't know, but that's something I've stopped now.
Do you prefer Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook or Twitter? Gosh, I don't know. I like them both. I don't know, that's tough. My dog just moved a lot.
What's your favorite preferred weapon?
My favorite weapon? Wow. Sarcasm.
What's your favorite books you've read recently?
Ooh, that's hard. That's not very nice to ask me that. How am I supposed to answer that?
What's the top authors that inspired you?
Stephen King, for sure. I really loved The Stand. I read that book when I was too young to read that book. And then I read it again a couple years after that. And then I read it again about 5 years after that. And then about 2 years ago, I read it again. So I think that's 4 times that I've read that book. And I'm talking uncut. Yeah, I read the whole thing that many times. And every time I got sick. Every time. It's the psychosomatic. I got sick. And that's awesome to me, that someone can make me sick from a very far distance in my head.
What's your all-time favorite movie?
My all-time favorite? You have to make me answer questions that are hard. I don't know. A movie that I can watch over and over and over and over and over again and not get bored or tired or feel like vomiting. could watch the Lord of the Rings movies pretty much like back to back all day long and be fine if I had food and like a catheter.
What's your favorite TV show?
I don't really watch a lot of TV, really, because I just don't. There aren't that many shows that I actually like that well. But I do watch The Walking Dead. I don't really know why, but I'm completely sucked in by The Walking Dead. I don't have a reason. What else? Downton Abbey, yeah, but I'm very sad about that. And Castle. I watch Castle. I'm kind of catching up on it right now. I know that something big happened because Twitter like exploded last week, and I had to look away because I don't actually watch anything when it's on. I watch it later because I like feeling left out.
Thank you so much, Mindy, for stopping by Magical Urban Fantasy Reads. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do it again soon. Bye.
Bye, Mindy. Do you see how I'm glowing right now? It's the sun. It's really bright.